Pregame.com.
All right, we got two teams in desperate need of a win. Week 2 NFL Thursday night. This is Brad Powers of Pregame.com studios just off the Vegas Strip. And what we thought would be a solid Thursday night matchup doesn't necessarily look the same now in Week 2 after the Texans and the Bengals get obliterated in Week 1. And Fez, expect one team to look a little bit better this week. Who do you like and why?
I like my Bengals. We're going to lay the 6.5. It's all about the Houston offense being in complete disarray. Savage, a horrendous game Week 1. He's already been benched, and in comes Watson to take over. Now, I do think that Watson will be a good NFL, eventually, quarterback in the NFL, but he is not ready. There's a reason that Savage won this job in the preseason. Really, really quick hook. I don't think it's necessarily the right decision to make, and especially look at what happened against Jacksonville here. They got sacked 10 times, the Houston Texans did. The O-line is having all kinds of problems. Not the type of situation you want to put a rookie quarterback into. Yeah, and, you know, usually it comes later in the season, but one thing that the wise guys like to look at is cluster injuries. It's only Week 2, and yet we got Houston here dealing with some cluster injuries at the tight end spot. Yeah, all 3 of their tight ends are in concussion protocol. I don't know if they've been practicing, hitting their heads against each other, what's going on. And that's not the only injuries associated with this team. We got problems on the O-line. Jeff Allen is injured. And even on the defense, we have a situation where Cushing is injured as well. Yeah, you briefly mentioned Deshaun Watson. You don't necessarily like him for this particular game or this situation, but talk to me, do you think he's going to be able to be a franchise quarterback maybe in the future? Oh, absolutely. And I go back to, let's take a look at his professional resume. So he played pro football 2 games against Alabama in the title game, and he torched them in both games. When I see that, if you can score against Alabama, once you get your feet wet, you learn the playbook, you certainly can score against the AFC South. Johnny Football also scored against Alabama. Just a slight caveat there, Fez. Might be a slight difference in work ethic there. Gotcha. Second main handicap. Houston's gas tank is on empty. This team, what's kind of become part of the Houston Texans and what they went through. So Hurricane Harvey, all the disruptions with the practice, then they go back. Emotional home opener. If you were going to lose your money on the Texans, at least you did it in a really good spot where you expect, like the Katrina with the Saints. We got this game circled, but now they deal with a disappointing game there. And, a few days later, they got to fly to the Queen City and play the Bengals. Yeah, and let's talk about the spot. Favorite wise guys thing to do is play against teams traveling on a short week on a Thursday night, particularly if it's a non-divisional opponent. Can you explain on that further? Oh, I think you nailed it there when you talk about if you play a division opponent and you see them twice a year, you know that team, so you don't need to prep as much. You know what you run, you know what they run, and it almost becomes, let me just take out my file and you don't have to have more than 24 hours. Now, I know these two teams have played quite a bit in the past, but they're not divisional opponents, and they have a brand-new quarterback in Watson. It is a nightmare prep time after a bad loss like that on Sunday, having to deal with the media as a coaching staff and have to wheel and lose a day for a Thursday game. All right, Fez, like this pick. Let's make it official. Let's make it official. Houston's offense is in disarray. Rookie quarterback Watson is not ready yet. He will improve, but he should not be starting yet. And the O-line and tight end position is in shambles. And Houston's gas tank is on empty, coming off Harvey. And the emotional home opener, now a short week at Cincinnati. The Fez Mask says, lay it in the jungle, back the Bengals. More videos at pregame.com.